You might not be able to see your grandkids right now. Maybe you haven't seen them for a while. Maybe you haven't seen them for years. Maybe you haven't even met them. I've met some grandparents that haven't even met their grandbabies yet. That's tragic. But today we're going to talk about how to leave little breadcrumbs for your little kids so that they know whenever they do come back, they know that you have not forgotten about them, that you've always loved them, and you never left them behind. We're going to call them breadcrumbs, kind of like with Hansel and Gretel, except not with a tragic ending. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is AlieNation. We provide resources for alienated grandparents, and one of the resources that we're going to be talking about today is how to leave a trail of evidence, if you will, that you never stop loving your kids and your grandkids, because there can be sometimes years that pass between the disagreement and the reconnection. I call it reconnection. I don't call it reconciliation, because you have to reconnect first before you can reconcile. And today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, and we're going to call them breadcrumbs. So when you don't talk to your grandkids, and let's just say you live your best life and you go, you'll go live in Alaska, and then you go and you move to Greece and you're just having a grand old time. And then, years later, your grandkids find you and they're like, you never even reached out to me. You weren't even thinking about me. And then you've got to prove to them that, yeah, I did think about you. But today we're going to help you to create physical pieces of evidence so that you can say, no, look, baby, I have a whole journal and I wrote about you every day. And I saved all of my pictures of you. And I thought about you when we went to Greece. And, so these are all the things, the tools that we're going to give you today so that you can create this trail for your grandbaby to learn that, yes, she did think about me. Yes, she was including me. Yes, here's all the stories of my family history. Because one of the biggest things that is like a sticking point, it's that I am passionate about, is that these grandchildren who are being disconnected from their grandparents have no idea about their family history. They have no connection to their family. They have no connection to family stories about the grandma when the grandma was little. I've got stories about my grandmother when she was young, and I got stories about my mom and my dad. And because I didn't, we weren't like that when we were young. We, you fight and whatever, you figure your stuff out. But we want to leave a legacy for our grandkids. So that's what we're going to work on today. You can take notes if you want. So I have a whole bunch of ideas, and trust me, I have like a whole plan for you guys. And we're going to talk about it later when we open up our school community, that we can all work together and creating these breadcrumbs so that our grandbabies can find their way back to us. So today we're going to be talking about writing and keeping track of your family legacy and making sure that your grandkids know that you thought about them the whole time. Like I said, maybe you're feeling you can't do anything, right? I can't call, I can't text, I can't go visit. Well, here are some things that you can do, okay? So first of all, write letters or write in a journal. You can do both, actually. So keep a journal. And when you are first cut off from your grandkids, you're going to want to write every single day, like write everything that you can remember about the day that they were born, what you guys did together, the adventures and the vacations you went on. Write and write and write and write, because when the day comes and your grandchildren find you or they reconnect with you, you want to say, look, babe, here's everything. Here's all the stories that I don't even have to like think about or try to remember, because I wrote it all down. So write in your journal every day and tell stories. Don't use it as a place to complain about their parents or whine that they can't see you or you can't see them. Use it to tell stories, because that's what they're going to gravitate to. You know, everybody wants a part of their family history. Why do you think that adopted children, although they love their parents, they love their adopted parents, there's still that yearning, that desire to know where they came from? And this is the same feeling that these kids are going to grow up with. They're going to grow up feeling like orphans because they don't have any connection to their family. So it's going to be up to you, grandma and grandpa, that you're going to write stories. Tell stories about your parents, okay? And tell stories about your grandparents, because they're going to be fascinated by this. So write your stories, your family history, whatever you want. You can do it by hand. You can do it digitally. There is something very cathartic about writing. So, you know, if that resonates with you, go ahead and write, and, you know, keep your journals. And then you can also write letters. Letters are just they're different from a journal. And, you know, you can write letters like you see in movies, that like people, like they have this stack of letters that they're like, for example, somebody was writing letters to like a girlfriend, and the mother intercepted them and never showed them to the girlfriend. You know, and they got stacks of letters. Imagine the stacks of letters, cards and letters. Every time you feel that yearning, you know, and that's pulling on your heartstrings, that you're missing your grandbaby again, go to the store, buy a card, write in there, seal it up, put his name on it, maybe put the date on it, and then keep all of those, make like a box. You know, do this like, because it's going to give you this feeling that you're doing something. Because when something is not in your control, you're going to want to feel like, I got to do something. So this is a project. Let's call it a project. This is a project you can work on to save all of these beautiful memories for your grandkids. Take pictures of yourself, print them out, and put it inside the card. Here I am on your birthday, Johnny. I made a cake and celebrated with you, even though I couldn't be there. How beautiful is that? You can't go back in time and do that. So do it in the moment, because this moment, this time in your life when you are not able to see your grandkids, this is going to be a really, really important time for you to take a look at who you are, mom and dad. Take a look at who you are and who you want to present to your kids when they come back. They want to see that you've grown, etc. So writing letters, writing cards, keeping them for the grandkids for when they come back. That's going to be a very emotional reunion when you do that. So do that. Also, share your memories on the day you were born. You know, this is what happened the first time you took a walk. You know, I used to take my grandson outside when, you know, some babies, they get jaundice, right, when they're born. So he and I used to go out in the backyard, and he was born in May. So it wasn't like really super hot or super cold. And I would, you know, put him in the sun so that he can get that vitamin D and, you know, get rid of his jaundice. But those kind of things, you know, I feel very blessed that I was able to be there to do that. So recall some memories, write them down, like print up pictures, make it like a scrapbook or something that you can share with them when they come back, because they will be back. Okay. Do short videos or voice notes. You know, we have these things. And we do videos, we take pictures of our food when we go eat, and, you know, we take family pictures and whatever. Do some videos for your grandkids so they can, let's just say that it's, you know, years, right? They're going to see what you look like when they went away. Let's just call it that, right? And see what you look like when they went away, and do some videos, share memories about him in your videos. That would be a nice collection of things that you can show them, and you can like make a whole movie out of it. Imagine that. That's going to be a beautiful thing. And it's going to feel very, very, it's going to feed your soul when you do these things. It's going to make you feel like you're doing something, you're moving forward. So do short videos or do voice notes. You can do these videos and you can save them in a folder on your Facebook. You could do that. Or, you know, there's a multitude of ways that you can save these things digitally. don't just save it on your phone, but you got to save it to an outside device in case your phone goes kaput and you don't have the videos anymore. So keep a photo journal, create a digital time capsule. Like, how fun would that be? Like put some things together in a box, like a keepsake box for your grandkids, of like maybe their teeth fell out, or you have a ticket from a carnival that you went to. Save these mementos, because these are precious memories that may recall a memory for your grandchild. Take pictures of places that you used to go with them, and then write on the back of the picture. There's so many things that you can do. Let's not talk about what we can't do, but let's move it forward. And what can you do? So these are things that you can create, and you can collect, and you can give to your grandkids when they do come back to you, because they're going to come looking for you. And I'm going to create another video that talks about some things that you can do online so that they can find you. Okay, so hey, do me a favor. In the comments, write down, leave me a message about something that you did, like some things that you can save or share with your grandkids. Like me and my grandson used to go to football games, and we got tickets, or here's a little sip of paper from like a fundraiser that they did. So share with me in the comments what kind of things that you can do, and what kind of things that you can, mementos that you can save for your grandkids. So let's talk about why this matters, okay? Because one day when they get older, they might have questions, and all of these things that you've been creating is going to provide answers for them, and they're going to feel a deep connection to you. They're going to be very grateful to you for saving these things for them, because people want to know, your grandbabies, they want to know that you thought about them, that you didn't forget about them. Just because they didn't see you doesn't mean that you forgot about them. You and I know we don't forget about them, but how are you going to tell them, yeah, I did think about you this way. You collect all these things over time, and you can give them this beautiful treasure box of things that you collected. So it really, really matters, because it's not about rewriting your history. What it is about documenting your history and documenting your life from the time your relationship was paused until the time your relationship was rekindled. So this is very, very important that you do these things. So if this spoke out to you, subscribe to our channel if you would, and share this video with another grandparent who really needs some hope today. Okay, so that's all I wanted to share with you. Remember that your love, your heart is still a part of his story. So this is Annie, and this is Grand AlieNation. We will see you on the next one.